Hey all, as promised, a tutorial on how to repair errors in casting of resin, typically warping. So what I'm going to do is first show you some of the pieces and then we'll get on to it. Anyhow, the pieces in question, also pardon the view, it's I'm looking at it sort of mirror image on the side, so kind of off. Anyhow, the pieces in question are the dress of Lala, this character that I have. I'll show you the original image. It's this dress that has, while nicely casted with very intricate foldings, the foldings are not perfect, even a few millimeters off, and the thing is just not coming together very well. So what we have first is the front piece, which includes one of the sleeves. You know, I wonder if that's focusing. Anyhow, this piece, as well as the back of the dress. What's supposed to happen is they are supposed to attach thusly, but if we can take a look, there are some gaps. They just don't go together very well. Now obviously there's supposed to be the actual chest piece in between, but what we're looking at is just, do they go together even without that piece? We're going to have to put that in when we try to fix it, but just looking at the problems, this is a nice way to find out where the gaps are and see if we can repair them. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Also, a secondary problem is the bottom of the dress, and we'll just take the back off. The folds of the bottom of the dress, while very nicely, are not quite matching up with the corners, especially right there, so it kind of folds down, as well as this corner as well. So we're going to mess around with these two as well. So those are the pieces. Okay, the tools I'm going to need for this little project are boiling hot water. Now you can use a stove and a pot, but I think that's a little bit dangerous, so I'm just going to use a hot water heater, a bowl to put that water in, a towel to dry off the pieces, and chopsticks because I live in Japan and I don't use tweezers very often. Also, I've got either a twisty tie or elastic band. For this little project, the elastic band's going to work out better because the pieces just really are nicely rounded, and elastic bands tend to work really well around this area, so that's what we're going to do. Also have a little bit of medical gauze tape in order to, when you wrap the elastic band around the piece, hopefully it won't be soft enough to actually have indentations from the band. Of course, there could be indentations from the actual gauze, but hey, we'll find out now, won't we? Anyhow, let me boil up the water because I'm not doing it now because it's really noisy. See you in a minute. Okay, now I've marked with a little bit of a pencil. Now let's see if we can focus. Yeah, I marked with pencil where I would like to bend this resin. I've also marked inside right there. You can mark it however you wish. I just mark it so the pencil side is where I'm bending towards. So inside here, outside there. Yeah, the water is sufficiently boiled. I'm going to pour it in my little bowl and we'll see how it works out. So hang on a second as I get my scalding hot water that I'm not going to swim in. Now, it is just under boiling, so I'm not going to leave it in there for too long. If it doesn't seem to work out very well, we can always leave it in longer. Dry it out a bit, and it's already a little bit softer, bending up towards the pencil mark, up towards the pencil mark, just using brute force really. And if I don't like the way it's going, dump it in there for a little bit longer. All right, get it out with my chopsticks, and bend it up a bit more. All right, that out. Out. And then we're going to try fitting. And again, if it's not perfect, you know, go back and try again. Don't try too much brute force, obviously. You don't want to snap it, but it is pretty well softened, so it's nice that you can mess around with it a bit. All right, so let's see how it is. Well, yeah, this is actually a lot lower than it was previously. I like where it is now, but I want to put it up a little higher, so I'm going to bend it the opposite because I bent it a little too far. And yeah, I'll just play with it a little bit more, bend it up a bit more. Let's see about this side, particularly that point right down there. Not too bad, but I think I want to bend it in just a little bit more. If you can take a look. You know, I really hope this is focusing. You can see my nails though. Lovely nails they are. But regardless, it's looking a lot better than it was before. So let me do this a couple more times and we'll have a finished product. And then we'll talk about that then. So hang on a second. Okay, now we've got the corners bent sufficiently to where we want them to be. Now what we're going to try to do is try to form fit where it's supposed to be on. So I've got the back piece first. I've got it against where it's supposed to be in the finished product, but you know, it's warped due to its casting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the whole piece sufficiently soft and I'm going to squeeze. Now obviously when I do it now, it just returns to its shape, but hopefully when I squeeze this time, it's gonna conform to the shape that it's supposed to be around anyways, and that'll make things a lot easier when the front piece goes on. So let's do that now. Okay, so after forming it with the front and the back, I decided to wrap it with the elastic band without using the gauze because it's harder to see that way. It's not perfect, obviously, but it's certainly a lot better than it was before. These gaps can normally be puttied over when I'm preparing it to paint, so that's just your regular gap between two pieces instead of that huge giant gap as well. And the other side is the same thing. You've got your general gaps that I'll be able to just putty over. In the process of bending, I did pop out this little corner sharp piece here. Hey, that's the dangers of trying to bend resin. I did break that little corner piece, but I'll just fill it in with putty since that's what's going to be happening anyways. Yeah, so there you go. It took a few times dumping it into the boiling water or the hot water and getting it there, but it's certainly a lot better off than it was before, so I'm going to let it cool for an hour or something in this position, and hopefully it'll stay like that. And there you go, my tutorial on how to try to rebend resin pieces that have warped in order to fit a form. There you go. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace out.